Do you ever catch yourself scrolling for hours at a time when you only meant to be on your device for a few minutes? Hi, my name is Allison Hannon, and today I'm going to be talking about why screen addiction is a real issue, how it starts very young, and some alternatives to being on screens all day. Screen addiction is a real issue. According to PremierHealth.com, screen addiction affects our physical and our mental health. Excessive screen use releases dopamine in the brain that can negatively affect impulse control. Screen time affects the frontal cortex of the brain and shows similar effects to using cocaine. Using screens is almost always a stationary activity. If we are substituting our physical activity for screen time, that can become a very unhealthy habit. Our mental health can also suffer from using screens. There are obviously some mental benefits for a little bit of screen time, but too much can become dangerous. Some benefits would be giving yourself a short break from a task or a chore. That break should be no more than half an hour. If you're on screens for too long, whether it be a computer, a TV, a phone, etc., your brain is very negatively affected. As I said before, screen addiction affects the brain very similarly to cocaine, which is a very addictive drug. Many people have many different opinions on children and screen time. Screen time addiction can start at a very young age, and it is a very hard addiction to get rid of. According to theconversation.com, behavioral addictions do not apply to people under the age of 12, but recently children are becoming addicted to screens as early as ages 4 or 5. Babies are introduced to screens at very early ages because parents need something to occupy them, but they need to be interactively playing with colorful and noisy toys to help their brains develop properly. There is a term today that people use to describe children that are addicted to screens. That term is iPad kid. These kids are the ones that are always on their tablets of some kind, watching YouTube or watching Netflix or even playing a game. Children at such young ages are ruining their chance for a properly developed brain for some entertainment. Kids should be playing with toys, using their imagination, or playing outside when they have an opportunity. Not just kids, this applies to teenagers and adults as well, because there are so many people that are addicted to screens and they don't even realize it. Sometimes people just need an idea of what to do to entertain themselves besides using screens. So, health.clevelandclinic.org came up with a couple of screen time alternatives for kids, but these can be for anyone. The first one is to just go outside. Everyone needs to be outside for a good amount of time every single day. There are so many health benefits from just enjoying some fresh air. Doesn't matter if you're playing a sport, going on a walk, or just burning off some energy. The next one is to do something around the house that doesn't involve any screens at all. You can motivate your kids or yourself by setting up a chore and reward system. For example, for every load of laundry you do, you can have a piece of candy or something else that you enjoy. For kids, you can do something like for every dish you wash is an extra minute of playtime. Next is crafting. Being creative is so important for your brain, and everyone needs to do something that has some form of creativity every single day. You can do some simple crafts every day, and they don't even have to be super complex. They can be something simple that takes about 30 minutes. Next is a very popular one, and that is board games and puzzles. These are very interactive things to do, and they are a great time killer and a great form of entertainment that can last for hours. Another one is to read. Reading is something that you either love to do or you hate to do. But if you start reading at a very young age and stick with it, it is something you can entertain yourself with for the rest of your life. Finally, let kids play with the toys they have, and adults can play with their kids. So many kids have lots of toys, and they can stay entertained for hours. If you are paying the money for the toys and they are sitting on screens all day, you are simply wasting your money. Today, I talked about how screen addiction is a real issue, how it starts at such a young age, and different ways to occupy your time instead of using screens. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you realize that you spend too much time on screens and learn to live your life a different way. Thank you.